Welcome back to another episode of the Most Wanted Podcast. I'm your host, Nahom Bogala, and nothing is safe from discussion over here. Before we start off, let me shout out those listening in on Anchor, Radio Public, Overcast, Breaker, Pocket Cast, as well as Google Podcasts. Also want to give a big shout out to those listening in through Spotify as well. If you're listening from Apple Podcasts, make sure to give a 5-star rating and review. If you're listening in on YouTube via the Broad Hive channel, make sure to like and comment on the video and subscribe to the Broad Hive channel while you're at it. You can stay up to date with the podcast on Instagram at Most Wanted Podcast, as well as Twitter at Most Wanted Pod. Damn, I went through that really quickly and very well. Usually I'd be stuttering and shit, bro. So as y'all can see today, or if you're listening in on audio platforms, I got one of my buddies here with me today. His name is Steve. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, bro?
What's up, my people? I'm Steve, Calgary based. Here to do an interview with my brother Namo, and it should be a fun time.
I bet. So today this episode is gonna be a little bit more serious, a little more, because most of the conversations that I've had here are either talking about, light stuff, very funny things, personal stories about me being stupid and shit. But today's gonna be a little bit more, a down to earth type of conversation. I don't know how I'm supposed to. Let's see. I think the best way to describe it is, it's just talking about mental health, right? Because it's such a prevalent thing. It hasn't. I feel like the stigma about mental health has really lessened as time has progressed, because back, early 2000s, people never really talked about it as much. Like, I remember seeing it on commercials and shit, but like, it wasn't really, as talked about amongst friends, family, as it is like, with the 2010s. It's like definitely increased in terms of mental health awareness. The stigma has gone down as far as I can tell. But of course the stigma is still there. What do you think about that, bro?
I do feel like the stigma on mental health has lessened a bit, and it's a good thing, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, it shows that, of course, like all human beings go through a various amount of emotions. Some emotions that you can't explain it, some you can't, but that's what makes everybody unique in their own self. Because if you don't have any emotions as a person, I would say you're not human in the first place, because if you can't feel anything within yourself, then you're not living properly. And coming from the perspective of a black man, an African man, most times, obviously, when you're a male-born child, it doesn't matter if you're the first, second, or whatever, but just being a male-born child in a black family home, there's this kind of family and societal pressure that's put upon you, saying like, oh, men have to be built like this, like you can't show weakness, emotion, stuff here, like you have to be strong. And there's nothing bad in being strong, but at the same time, growing up, you start to suppress all these types of emotions and feelings you have inside, and then later on when it kind of develops and you don't know how to address or express them. Like if you as a boy, you grow up, you experience traumatic events, you hold up inside because you say, oh, I can't show emotion, like, or people are going to look at me differently. If you end up married later on, you're going to have problems not just with yourself, but with those around you, with the family, because you never learn to deal with or address those problems. But with how mental health has been viewed, also with the help of social media, I feel like it's being lessened and people are starting to talk more about it. Especially for black people too, because me personally, I hate this trope where it's like, oh, black people are strong, and this black women are strong, black men are strong. Yes, we are strong, but at the same time, we shouldn't be strong under the guise of trauma bonding, because living your life based off trauma and then trying to muster up all that courage to do stuff here and there, it kind of paints a negative view of stuff like black people have to suffer or go through something traumatic in order to be considered strong. So that's it. But at the same time, I'm very happy that the stigma is being reduced and more people are being open to talk about it, and also as well educate themselves on it, because everybody goes through something. It's like your neighbor, even people in your family, everyone goes through it, because at the end of the day, you're human, and life is just about growth. It's about moving forward.
Completely agree. It's I going back to what you said about African households. Holy shit! Oh, yeah, you're dead right on that one. Because Africa, or African country. I'm speaking from personal experience. In Ethiopia, it's a very traditional, you would say, a traditional sort of country. My dad was brought up on that sort of idea where he's a very, very strong. I remember him growing up, me growing up at least, and he would always tell me, he's like, yeah, don't cry, you're a guy. Guys aren't supposed to cry and stuff. And because I used to cry quite a bit when I was younger. I was, yeah, I ain't gonna cap. I was a crybaby at that point. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, at this point, I'm 20. Shit's changed. But back then, I would cry a little bit more often on things that I probably shouldn't have. And my dad was like, "Come on, don't be a wuss. Guys don't cry." And I'm starting to unpack that now, where I'm like, I mean, like I get it, because in the traditional sense, guys are supposed to be like the strong ones. They're the ones that are supposed to uphold, the family. If you break down, then everyone else starts falling down too. Um, but at the same time, it's like sort of neglecting your own feelings. And going back, I think I also mentioned this like in the previous episode. When my grandma had passed, my dad, because I was, my dad's mom, and he was the firstborn, he broke. Like, he was just gone, because I mean, that's his mom. Obviously you would. And when that happened, and I've only seen my dad cry probably like 2 times in my entire life, and when I saw that, I was like, what the fuck. So at that point, I knew that I had to be the strong one, because he needed to cope. And we're still trying to deal with that now. I mean, at this point, we've all kind of like not moved forward, but like, accepted the fact that she's not with us, in the physical sense. But at the same time, it's like, you never truly get past, the trauma of seeing that, right? Like, it
Yeah,
never truly, goes away. That's that feeling.
yeah, yeah. Just to add to that, first of all, my condolences to you and your dad. I know death is something that it's imminent. It happens in life. You never want to experience it or see it. It's different when it happens to someone else, but when it happens to you, then it hits more, because
Oh
you,
man.
you learn to understand what it is. And as much as I hate the concept of death, at the same time, it allows me to understand and value life, and take it for granted. Just to love what life is at this moment. So you live your life up to the fullest and the very best that you can.
Mm-hmm.
And as well, adding to the whole African family dynamic. Um, Even the first time that I saw my dad cry, like me, I've always been an emotional person and everything, because because of my mom, I learned to see life from both perspectives, from a man's side, from a woman's side, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because my dad was always like working international and everything, so it was mainly me, my mom, and my sister at home.
Mm-hmm.
He'd come back on vacation and stuff like that. So because of her, I learned to understand and tap into my emotional side as a child, and then I would like, oh, like this is actually what's like what I should be doing, or I'm allowed to do. Like, I shouldn't be constrained to this like way of thinking and everything like that. So me as a child, like, yeah, I cried a lot sometimes when I didn't need to, but at the same time, crying, like, it helped me release all of that stress and tension that I needed to let go, so I wouldn't boil up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But the first time I saw my dad cry, it was say maybe sometime in like 2014, something like that, because his brother had died, and I remember I was laying on the floor. I think this was maybe a couple months before I moved to Canada and everything. I was laying on the floor, and I saw he picked up his phone and everything, and he was just. I remember his phone was in his left hand, sitting on the chair right beside me. His hands were like just moving to his eyes and everything. I think he wanted to do that maybe to kind of protect me,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, that was the first time I saw my dad cry, and I was like, this is strange, because I've never seen anything like that happen to him before.
Right.
And it was kind of, yeah, it was actually very strange, and it was like, this is the first time I've seen like the half of me who brought me to this life start crying and everything. The fact that it was in front of me really just like, it just, like, I didn't break down, but it just kind of like something shifted in there and everything. And I was like, for me to see my like conservative, like not like conservative politically and everything, but like my dad is conservative in the sense that he just holds everything together. Like, he's always quiet. Like I
Mhm.
saw him like put his hand like his two fingers here around his eyes and everything, and he was in tears because I mean this is his brother, this is his own blood and everything. When I saw that happen, it was just very very strange, but at the same time it was also kind of like moving because I saw a strong man like break down and actually openly just put out his feelings then and everything.
Mhm.
I think that was the first and last time that I saw him cry. I like I want to say maybe he's cried a few more times, but I wasn't there. I probably didn't know what had happened. But that was the first time I saw him cry. When that happened, it just kind of made me feel more expressive in the sense that look, if you've seen your dad cry, you can cry too, but when it's necessary and everything like that. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, I mean, even when it comes to my friends, like I'll cry. Like it does if I care about you and I love you that much, I will cry. It doesn't matter if I know you personally, even if you're an outsider. Like I can cry for you because to me, death is more. I- I've I've started to look at death more in the sense that it's a celebration of life and not just the fact that oh, like this person has left me and everything like that. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna treasure and carry all those memories within me, and I
Mhm.
know that that person is still living, but just in another world right now. So uh, just that thought process just helped me to kind of like look at life differently and everything. So yeah, when it comes to my friends, I cry for you and everything. It doesn't matter what. So yeah,
Man, that was. I mean, I'm still. First of all, I want to say sorry I'm sorry for your loss about your
yeah, of
uncle,
course,
bro.
of course, of course.
But at the same time, I've been like what you were saying. I've been learning to kind of accept the fact that like when they die, they don't necessarily like fully die because they'll always be a part of you in terms of like memories, experiences that you have shared, um, and it's a beautiful expression of life to where you can go out, like your body can leave in the physical sense, but yet you will always remain it so long as your memory is around. And I've been learning to accept that as a new concept of death rather than when you die, that's it. But it's always hard, and like the mental repercussions from someone passing is never easy. And I know you've had your fair struggles, going through those type of mental issues. And if you're comfortable, then would you like to go through those type of things with us, or?
Sure. Geez, where do I start? Um, I would say my mental health struggle started when I was like 13 or 14 and everything. Um, I don't know, but I think the root cause might have been just maybe stemming from like me being bullied and stuff. So I used to like when I was 13, 14, I lived in Qatar at the time
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff. I just moved from Abu Dhabi to Qatar and everything. School was okay, it was fun a bit and everything, but then it's like just little hints of bullying here and then all that stuff like that. That happened to me. And then my birthday came um May the 29th. Um so we celebrated my birthday in my house and everything. And I just burst into tears and everything. Like after cut the cake, family prayed for me and everything. I
Mm-hmm.
just burst into tears and I went to my room because at 13 years old, I told myself like I didn't think I was gonna make it. Like I actually told myself like I thought I would have been dead by now because that's just like how much everything was like affected me in school and all that stuff. If I move on from that period of time to life in Thai, I'd say it was when I came to Canada and everything. My mental health was kind of stable a bit, but then it just kind of like shifted down because of kind of like this situationship or something like that that I had with somebody. I don't
Mm-hmm.
even consider that like any sort of relationship ever again because just the way I was treated, the stuff that I went through, no one deserves that and everything. So I just try to push that phase out of my life, but at the same time, I have gotten over that and stuff like that. Pretty much, just to cut it short, me and this person were talking. We had a casual relationship here and there, but I was mentally taken advantage of, mentally abused, emotionally, um, like just psychologically, everything. Like I would break down at night. Like sometimes I would have to cry myself to sleep sometimes and everything. I even remember on New Year's, I got a text from this person. Like I have a very vivid memory when it comes to stuff. Like this was Tuesday. This was a Tuesday, I believe January the 2nd or 3rd of 2018. Yeah, I think 2018. I was on the steps of my house, um, around 3 a.m. I saw the text. I was crying my eyes out, bro, because what I read, like no one, no one should go through that. Nobody, man, woman, it doesn't matter. No one should go through that. So I broke down and everything. It took me about 2.5 years just to get over all that stuff and everything. Like I just went through so much, even in middle school. I had this teacher. So like this was lunch period. Pretty much every time during lunch period. This was on Qatar too, by the way. During lunch period, all of us kids that would go to the computer room and all that stuff, play games on the computer, all that stuff. Like the teacher was nice and everything. He was a nice person to me. He never did anything bad. But it's like I was at the back playing my games and all that stuff, and then he came to me. He was like asking me how it was and all that stuff. But he would put his like hand on my back and just start rubbing it and everything. Like he would go a little down, maybe to like the back of, like where like the waistline where like your like boxers for men will start and everything. Like his hands would go all the way like down there, max that point and everything.
What the fuck?
As a kid, like yeah, it was like as a kid, I didn't like. I just thought like, oh, he was nice. I didn't know what like I didn't know what was going on. I thought he was nice because he was nice to me, like even in general and all that stuff. And then it was like later on, I was like, bro, like the more I did it was like he basically like the things that I don't know whether to term this as molestation or assault or some kind of thing because I don't want to like use that and kind of like validate the term for other people and all that stuff.
Right.
Like, I know it happens in different ways and all that stuff, but I don't know exactly what to term that as. But all I know is that as a 13-year-old kid, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what he was doing to me. So it's like in a sense I did not consent and all that stuff. So that happened and everything. Then again, if I fast forward back to the whole situation, all that stuff, like I've tried to take my life 4 different times, 4 different occasions. Like it's been crazy. Like even you and like some of the guys and all that stuff, like on social media, like you guys know I'm very like open about my mental health and all that stuff. Sometimes I would take breaks. Like if I call you guys, like you guys would hear me breaking down on the phone and stuff like that.
Of course.
Like just the thought of just ending my life, just saying fuck all and everything, just like get over with. The amount of times I have to like live with that in my heart, in my head, like all these thoughts coming in and everything. It happens, like it just rushes through my brain, and that's why I always like say like I hate the nighttime because that's when like I can literally hear everything. Like, it just gets louder in my head and all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's just sometimes I try to like drown it out, cry it out or whatever, stuff like that. But what else? And then there's school, just with like stress and all that stuff. Being a black child in our family, especially being the firstborn, when it comes to academics, speaking from a Nigerian perspective, your parents, especially the dads, they put a lot of pressure on you and everything like that. It's like, it's like, of course, we know academics is like, it's something to be proud of and all that stuff, but at the same time, I hated when they let culture and pride, tradition take over like the emotional viewpoint of what your kid is going through. Like, as much as I want to make you proud, whenever I know I'm doing bad in school, I can't even come talk to you and everything because you're just gonna blame me saying, "Oh, you're not putting effort, you're not putting work." I'm doing that I can't. Like the same capacity and capability I have as a person is completely different, and like they never understood it and all that stuff like that. So like I would just cry. Like the amount of times I called myself a failure, like I was sitting beside my dad. I was like, yo, like I just can't do this anymore. Like I'm a failure, this and that, blah blah blah. I think just I think at that moment he realized exactly what maybe I was talking about. He may not have understood it fully, but he's starting to get like a grasp of it and everything. But school does weigh a lot with all these expectations. You know you want to do good, you know you can, but at the same time, it doesn't go exactly the way you want. So I think that experience um has just given me like a new outlook on life in general. And it's also
Mhm.
given him a new outlook that, sometimes you have to be easy. Just talk to them like soft and gently, like do away with like culture, tradition, everything. So, like just talk to me as a person, my level and stuff like that. Because if we're on the same wavelength and understanding, then everything will just mesh like easily and all of that. But yeah, I think that's all the mental health like issues that I can remember. Like I mean, even till now, to this very moment, I still go through it and all that stuff. Like one like a couple of days ago, I was just like very like I was just down and out and everything.
Mhm.
It wasn't a no suicidal shit, none of that stuff. It was like I just didn't want to be here and all that stuff like that. So yeah,
Just kind of
but
like wanted to isolate yourself in that sense, right?
yeah, yeah, pretty much. Like if I don't want to talk to anybody, like my body just shuts down. My body just shuts down completely. Like I'll just disappear, all that stuff like that. So yeah,
No, I get that, bro. I get that. And first of all, I want to say, glad you're still here with us. Um, suicide and self harm. I understand what you were going through in that sense, but like I'm just happy. I'm just happy that you're here. I don't know I don't know any proper way of saying this. I don't know any way to articulate it properly, but just like suicide is never the answer. Like it's like a permanent solution to a temporary problem in a sense, and not to discredit what you went through, not to invalidate what you
I
went
know.
through,
Yeah,
of
of
course
course,
that's
of
not what I
course, of
mean,
course. Yeah,
but
no, no, definitely.
I'm just saying, like, for anyone that's ever gone through those type of issues, or have ever had those type of thoughts, please don't. I'll be putting a link in here for a suicide hotline. Any website that can help. I'll do my research and probably put a couple links there in order to help. But like, it's hard because I don't want to say that I've gone through extreme issues myself, but like like what you were saying, like school, anxiety, like it's hard, especially in an African household, right? Where the expectations, the stigma, and like it just keeps weighing down on you to where if you even get a hint of a bad grade, you're like, I don't even think I can even say it to my parents, right? Like it's ass, but like every single immigrant kid has gone through it at one point where they get a bad grade.
On God, bro, on God.
Like I remember, I think I was in grade 6, right, and I got like a C in something, in a mark or something, and I was shitting myself on my report card. I was shitting myself. I was like, there is no way I can show this to my parents, and like I don't know. It's not like I don't like I love my parents. My parents are like my best friends, but it's like the expectations that they set for you are so high that when you fail to reach those high expectations, you just feel like nothing but a failure, and you're
Like
like,
that moment where it's like, let's say there's like 30 of you in the class and all that stuff. You do a test. Let's say you get like I don't know, you get a 75 and everything,
mhm,
and it was only like two other people who got higher than 75 and what you got. Everyone else had like lower marks and all that stuff. Go home and show your parents like, look, I got a 75, all that stuff. They're like, oh, why didn't you get a 90? Like I know some people that got higher than that and all that stuff like that. So it's just like bro, like I'm doing all I can. Like I did good, like, but at the same time, I know I can do better. But even if you want to
mhm,
encourage me in a way that I'll actually feel it, and I will feel like, oh, like they still love me, even if this is what I like I'm able to get at this moment. Just
mhm,
that amount of encouragement can probably push me to do better and everything. And it works, like, because your words are very powerful. Like words of affirmation go a long way. That's why I think that's why, like, in those relationships and everything, like, how people talk about your love languages and all that stuff, right?
right,
Like, I don't think it only, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't think it only applies to, like, um, relationships between, like, a boy and a girl, all that stuff. Like, relationships in general
right,
with with your partners, with your friends, even with your family too. So it's like all that stuff, like it matters at the end of the day. So it's that.
It's hard. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, I wouldn't know anything about relationships because your boy been single, right?
Me.
Hey man, just gotta charge it to the game. I've been shooting, bro,
Oh,
but I be
bro,
shooting.
bro.
Nigga like
Hey
me
man,
be
your
shooting
time,
like
hey,
Kwame
bro,
Brown, bro.
your time is coming, King. Your time is coming. Your time is coming, bro.
Hey man, nigga like.
All my niggas are gonna be in love, bro.
Hey man, nigga like me is shooting like what's his name? Joakim Noah at the free throw line, bro.
Yo.
Game on the line type beat, bro.
I'm crying.
Oh man. But like, oh man. I don't know how we can move on from something like that, bro.
I mean, I feel like you just have to, like, obviously, like, you have to heal and all of that stuff, because you can't just say, like, oh, I'm gonna move on. Like, it's like I think you saw my tweet this morning and everything. I was like, if you left somebody
I did
because they cheated on you, and you if you left someone that cheated on you only to go on to another person who got dumped because they cheated on their partner, that's not called healing a movie. No, that's called cross multiplication, all that stuff. So it's like, if you don't learn like, if you don't learn to like process everything that happened, take some time to heal, come back better, like, you're not doing yourself like any good, because like, there's a time for everything. Like, there's a time for happiness, there's a time for sadness, death. There's a season for everything in life. You just have to go through like that point and all that stuff, and eventually you come out a stronger person, and you also come out a more experienced person, because the mistakes and trauma that you've experienced in the past will shape you into a new person. It will actually help you determine like your worth and see who you are for yourself. Not to say that like we should bond over trauma and all that stuff, because that's negative. It's more about just processing it, having some sort of release, and accepting that, okay, this happened to me, but it's not gonna define me as long as I live. That's pretty much what it is. It's I feel like it's just a necessary part of life to learn how to move on.
No, I completely agree. And it's like, I don't know, I feel like when, in terms of like struggling with these type of things, I felt like, especially after the death of, my grandma, going through that, it was really hard, but I found that talking with people, like, just opening up and just start venting with like close friends, it helped like a lot. And I'm like a really private person where I don't really like to talk about myself so much, because I'm always there for, other people. Other people are always telling me, like, that one person that's like always there for other people. They're always, support. They're like the number one there. That, I don't want to, like, it's not like I'm tooting my own horn, but like, that's just, that's what it was. But sometimes in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, but I'm there for, all these people. But what would happen if I were to go through something? And like,
God, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know exactly what it is.
It's like, like, I feel that way. It's like, how to help people. You can't help yourself. That's literally exactly what it is. Like, you're there for other people. You can help them, but when it comes to your own situations, you have no idea like what to do and stuff like that. Like, you don't know how to help yourself. I know exactly what you mean.
And then the problem with that is like, I'm starting to unpack this now, right? But like, I just had like this sort of pride where I'm like, I'm never gonna like open myself up, because I got this. It's me. I know how to do this. It's me. And like that sense of pride, and I don't want to say arrogance, but like, just that sense of I can take care of it by myself type of thing. It's gotten me through some dark times. Dark, not to the point of like, self-harm or anything, but just, just dark periods. And like, like you were saying, the nighttime was always ass, where it's like, you're like, you see your demons like right in front of you, just staring back at you kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, Frank Ocean kicked my ass during that time too. Holy shit, bro. That nigga, yo man, Blonde was kicking my ass. Oh my goodness. Nigga dropped Godspeed and I was in tears.
Bro, during the nighttime, like, all you would hear me listen to was, what's it called? I Don't Want to Do This Anymore by X.
Bro.
What's that one Drake and Giveon were on?
Chicago Freestyle?
Exactly, yeah, Chicago freestyle.
Yeah.
Every night, I'm literally laying on the bed looking at my scene, and tears are coming down my eyes, bro. I'm just like, yo, fuck this. Like, I can't do this and all that stuff. Music would kick my ass, bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Oh my lord. I think the weekend too, when he dropped My Dear Melancholy, kicked my ass out. Oh my goodness. Niggas saying, "Oh, call my name." I was in tears, bro. I was down terrible. Oh man, nigga, I was down atrociously. Oh man. The moment I hear like the moment I hear "we found each other," I was like, "Yup, there it is. There's the depression. Yup, it's over."
Oh my god.
Oh man, but like I'm starting to unpack, that sense of like I can take care of this myself, and started to open up, started to vent a lot more, and it's led me to a lot more of like a stable mindset. I think I'm at the point now where it's like, yeah, like things don't affect me the way that they used to affect me. The only thing that'll like really, get me to a point of like anger or like frustration is, either school shit because it's graduation is around the corner, so like yeah, that's gonna kick my ass, or like if like someone is insulting like my family or stuff, and that's when like you cross the line. I'm like, yeah, now it's on site type of thing. But another thing too is like as a guy, right? Men's mental health has definitely been something that's been overlooked. Not to say that we should ignore everyone else, because of course everyone deserves to be listened to. All of their experiences are valid. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's just like as guys, like we're always told, you're supposed to be the strong one, the breadwinner for the family. You're the one that's supposed to maintain strength and stability, and like you're grown up. You grow up with that type of mindset, and where you get to a point like maybe when you hit your 20s and like you just start breaking down, but you never knew how to properly cope with that type of thing. So then you just start spiraling down, and like unfortunately it's led to men taking their lives. And it's like, and I think I read a stat somewhere where it's like the majority of people who actually take their lives are men. I'm not 100%, I don't know if that stat is true or not. Keep in mind, this podcast is not about bringing in statistics. I'm not that type of person. Everything's literally off the top of my head. So like, it's all literally just about talking about experiences and stuff here. And it's not, once again, it's not to say that women, trans people, people of the LGBTQIA community, it's not like I'm trying to invalidate them whatsoever. Everyone's experience is valid. You're loved. We're all here for you. But it's just, as guys, I think the stigma around mental health is still prevalent, I would think. What do you have an opinion about that?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, some people, like some men, they're still like closed up in this like personal shell or bubble that they have. Maybe they're just not comfortable enough to say that to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they don't think that there's anyone who's gonna like listen to them or stuff like that. So they just kind of like bury everything inside, just like like that's my life. I can't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's situations like that when my back was against the wall, that I learned to like appreciate the people around. As many people that I'm grateful to consider friends and all that stuff. I do find like it's only key or certain people that I can vent to and everything.
Right.
Like if I message like, yo, this is what's happening to me, like I know what's it called? Like they're gonna be there for me and everything. Like even if they don't reply instantly, because I'm not gonna be selfish to say, oh, you didn't reply to me like super quick and all that stuff. Because at the end of the day, I know you have a life and all that stuff, so I'm not gonna take that personally. But regardless of that, I know that I can count on them. This leads me to how I met my best friend in uni and everything. This was like around, say maybe January. Like I went to the second floor of the library and everything, and one of my friends, sorry, actually two of my friends, because they were also friends with him, they introduced me to him. They're like, yo, Steve, this is our friend Rashid. So me and Rashid, we looked at each other, we said hi and all that stuff. Went to the library, just cooler and all that stuff. At first, like it's not like we didn't like each other, but I guess like there just wasn't a vibe there at the moment. But the
Right.
second time we saw each other, we talked. We instantly became like this, just this and everything. So meeting Rashid really changed my life in every. It changed my life in every single way that I can imagine because Rashid was the first guy who, like, I've always believed that people live their lives differently. Like, no two people have the same life on this earth.
Right.
But when I met Rashid, literally everything that I've been through, family-wise, mental health-wise, just everything in general that you could think of in this life, me and him, it's literally 100%. Rashid became my other half and everything. He became the brother that I never like got to have in my life and all that stuff. So
Right.
Rashid, till this day, like he holds, like he's always gonna hold like a special place in my heart. So like we came close. We go to each other's houses just to chill, everything like that. The day my grandmother died and everything, like he was the first person I told. Like I was crying on his shoulder for hours and all that stuff. Like he was just comforting me and all that stuff. Like that, just letting me know that things would be okay. Whenever it came to school, family issues, relationship issues, all things of those sort. Like I remember me and him, we would stay on the phone for like we would stay on the phone for hours. Like those days we stayed on the phone for 2 hours. The next day it was 3 hours. The next day was 4, and then it was 5. So we literally exceeded each day by an hour because we just wanted to check on each other that bad and everything. Even if we were talking and later on the conversation died, we'd still be on the phone, like because his presence, even his silence, just the fact that his presence was there, it was more than enough for me to feel comfortable. Just knowing like, oh, my best friend is on the other side, so that like, at the end of the day, I can talk like and feel like awesome and all that stuff. Like me and Rashid, our bond is so deep that I can literally I could mention his name and tears will come out of my eyes. That's how, like obviously apart from family, I have never loved anybody the way that I've loved Rashid before.
You're good, bro. You're good. You're good.
I know. But yeah, just the way that I've loved him and everything. I've never loved anyone like that before. But just having him in my life just makes me grateful knowing that there's people there like him that I can talk to in case I ever need anything, all that stuff like that. Like me and him always tell each other, oh, like we got each other for life. Like to the point we even joke like, oh, when we get married and everything, like obviously not together and all that stuff. It's like when we both get married respectively to our wives and all that stuff.
Right.
We always tell each other and joke that, oh, look, our kids are gonna bully each other and everything. Like I would let him know, like, oh, I would let his kids know, like, oh, your dad was a loser in uni and all this stuff. I used to like do this to him and all that shit. He would tell my kids the same thing, saying, oh, yo, Steve was this and that. I used to save him, all that, just all that like funny shit. It's like tell each other like I'm not even married now, but I know God willing Rashid is still alive by then. Rashid is gonna be one of our best men at my wedding. That's already settled. And I told him like, look, I'll be your best man at your wedding too and all that stuff. So it's like just everything is like the love is so genuine that calling him like when it comes to the word best friend, he's the first thing that comes to mind. But even best friend is not enough to describe him in general. He's literally like, family is not big enough of a word. Blood is not big a word. Like he's so much bigger than that I can't find any word to actually describe him.
He's like your second half, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he's just that person that like he's literally part of my soul. Like my soul and his are literally just intertwined together and all that stuff. And even apart from Rashid, even other people that I've been to, you yourself, Celine, Nabila, my friend Nimra, like all you guys. It's a bunch of people that I could mention right now, but I can't remember them off the top of my head. But a lot of you guys, especially who I met through social media, like you lot have helped me like just have more kind of like faith and belief in myself as a person. So like even me saying like thank you or I love you, like it's an understatement. If I had like if I had 1,000 tongues just to tell you how much I appreciate you guys for all you did for me, it still wouldn't be enough. But I'm really grateful for all you guys here and everything. You yourself, of course, included. So um, yeah, just thank you in general.
Of course, like
Yeah.
bro, don't even mention it. Like that's what real friends do. You don't even mention it. You just be there. That's what that's the whole point of it all, you know.
Yeah.
And
just seeing them like champion the fact that men's mental health needs to be like talked about more. It really does make me happy and everything. Even me, my dad, like sometimes we have like father and son talks and walks like that and all that stuff. So it's kind of it's given even me, my dad, the chance to like bond a bit together and just talk about life and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shit, father son. Yeah, I remember. Me and my dad do the exact same things. I mean, not as much nowadays, just because time constraints, right? But like when we had, maybe it was like I think a couple years ago, we used to walk down Memorial, like right by the river. Oh, it was beautiful. Like we had a market, a grocery store right by Hillhurst, and like right on 19th Street, I think it was. And afterwards, we just closed up and we just walked down that, just walk down and just talk and shit. I think we talk about like religion, what's going on in the world, politics. He'd ask me about girls that I'm talking to. Obviously, you get nervous the moment that shit gets brought up because you're like, hey, like I ain't got nothing, bro. Remember, I'm joking. Bro, I'm joking. No.
the day me and my dad walked and he was like, look, in a couple of years you're getting married, you're gonna be talking to women. I was like, bro, where's this coming from? Like,
that's what it's so off-putting.
You're the same man who told me, like, look, I don't want to see you calling girls on your phone. I don't want to see you walk. I'm like, bro, where did all this come from, bro? Like, it was funny, but at the same time, it's like, it was nice. It was nice to have that like sort of talk with dad and everything like that. So,
I think it's more so it's like a point where you start, or your dad starts to see that you're a grown person at that point, so then you can start having like more mature conversations. He's a lot more comfortable with those type of things. Because I remember my dad, like, he told me, it's like, yeah, you guys should have sex after marriage. So I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. So I literally grew up with that mindset. And all of a sudden, it gets brought up in a conversation. He's like, yeah, I don't care, just as long as you're having safe sex. I'm like, nigga, what? What? Nigga, what? Granted, I was never in a position to even think about having sex to begin with, right? Yeah. But like, still, the fact that he's even like, yeah, as long as you guys are having safe sex, I mean, shit, you're an adult, go crazy. I'm like,
it just felt so weird. I'm like, bro, yo, my nigga, like, where did this come from, bro? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I actually, like, the day he asked me stuff, I actually had to look and be like, yo, like, who are you talking to? Like, I know it's not. I was just like, bro, like, what's going on? But just stuff like that just makes everything better, especially when like you live it in that moment. It's just like it's a beautiful thing to see.
Man, I still remember one time I don't know what switched, but I think I was around 14. Like before, my dad used to make like very kid jokes and shit. But like when I hit high school, my dad started making like dirty jokes, like dark humor type jokes. And it threw me all the way off. I'm like, my nigga, where is this coming from? Like, I make those type of jokes all the time, but I've never said them in front of my dad.
Yeah.
Because I remember, and I'm never going to forget this conversation. Me and him, we were driving home from work, right? And we were listening to the news. And the news was talking about, I think it was talking about birds. And, like, they were talking about, like, I think back in the day, prehistoric birds used to have, like, dicks. And my dad was like, imagine if you just see a bird just flying in the sky with a big ass thing just like this, just banging. And it's like, nigga, what? I looked at him. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, yo, imagine it's called like a dick copter. It's just, that's the reason the bird starts flying. I'm like, what are you talking about right now?
Oh my goodness, no, yo, that's like, funny.
He's like, bro, that's a whole elephant trunk. The fuck you talking about? I'm like, my nigga, what is this? Bro, that conversation, it's never leaving my mind because A, it scarred me for life, and B, that's probably the funniest thing I've ever heard my dad say ever. Oh my lord. But like, yeah, like going back to what we were talking about, like that's probably like the more positive side of mental health and shit. Where if you have those type of conversations that are like really open, or you have like people that are practically like your other half, like you were talking about with your friend, um, ultimately it leads you to such a better place. And if you have like that close, you don't need like you honestly, I could probably count my close friends that I consider like really close, probably off my two hands. That's it. And that's really all you need. You don't need like a whole big group of people because A, that's gonna stress you out having to talk to all those people, But at the same time, it's like it just I don't know how to describe it, but like they're always gonna be there for you, and you will always be there for them. It's like that mutual type of bond type of thing, and it's a beautiful thing. It really is,
Exactly. Like the friendship and just having emotions in general, it's something that I cherish and I don't take for granted because if I never got to experience all that stuff, like all those feelings, I wouldn't have been the person that I am today. Like my life right now, like I honestly don't know what it would be like. It would just be like, I would be a walking corpse, like them niggas and a walking dead and all that stuff. That's why I would consider myself like because
right.
Living without any sense of humanity and just the wide range it encompasses. Like I wouldn't be Steve. I wouldn't be me at all. So I take stuff like that to the heart, and I'm just really grateful that I can even express it boldly now than I could before as a kid. So yeah.
Honestly, you said it perfectly because that's what makes you, right? Like all the experiences, good, bad, the good, the bad, the ugly, that makes you. It shapes, how you grew up, shapes how you act, shapes, how you'll act in the future. It's all a culmination of things. So it's literally just as you said it. Like I can't even add any more words to it. You said it like beautifully. But I think we covered almost everything that we both wanted to talk about. I mean, is there anything else that you would like to say?
I guess just maybe just to shout out like all the people again. Rashid, you yourself, Celine, Nabila, Yami, Akio, just everyone like Tobes, Ronnie, Timmy, Timbo.
Timmy, my dog, bro. Timmy, two jokes, bro. You be wilding on them streams too, my nigga.
Hey, Timbo stream is another topic for another day. ASAP 2, my boy.
ASAP is wilding. ASAP, my nigga, but that nigga wild, bro.
just everyone in the city, like I've had like the chance and like opportunity to meet. Like it just like I'm just grateful for all of them and all that stuff. So yeah.
I think that's really it. One last thing before we go, to anyone that's might be listening to this and are going through, a very tough time, trust you can get through it. We believe in you. We love you. It's a safe space, start, talking to people, maybe, talk to a counselor if you might need that type of help. I'll put in links in the description for like, mental health awareness sites and, suicide hotline phone number as well. And yeah, I mean, like, I don't know how else to say it, but like, we're here for you. So suicide is never the answer to your problem. And we're all here for you. We all love and care for you. So with that being said, thank y'all for making it to the end of the podcast. If you want to show love to the episode, I fucked it up. I have the script right here, and I fucked it up. Let me get this one more time. But hey, thank y'all making it to the end of the episode. If you want to show love to the podcast, follow me both on Instagram at Most Wanted Podcast and Twitter at Most Wanted Pod to stay up to date on guest features, upload days, and more. Once again, want to shout out those listening in on Google Podcasts. Breaker, Overcast, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, and Anchor. If you're listening in on Apple Podcasts, make sure you give a 5-star rating and review as well. You can also listen to the podcast on Spotify as well as on YouTube through the Broader Hive YouTube channel, where you can not only find my podcast, but plenty of other top-notch material. Till next time, we out. Easy, y'all.